Before taking this class, I was aware that race is still a complicated topic today. Racism, prejudice, and discrimination is all alive today, and we still see issues on the news that makes this evident. However, I did not know that the term race itself had controversy. I was also unaware of the negative connotations attached to the term, and I never thought about what the true definition of race was. To me, before this class, race was just a way to divide people into groups based on appearance and traits such as skin color. Lastly, I never thought about why we still have these issues in our nation today. Starting at the beginning of the year, after reading The Guide to Hipster Racism by Lindy West, my view towards race began to change. I realized that racism has gone underground. By this I mean that instead of being openly racist, mostly today racism is seen in joking or ironic manner. Prior to the civil rights movement, it was common for people to be openly racist. Today, the idea that everybody is equal is becoming more and more common, but racism still exists, which caused it to go underground. Lastly, I learned that race is arbitrary, meaning that it's what we make of it. Race is just a means of dividing people based on differences, but we complicate it to mean something more. Race today seems to be a statement about a person economically, socially, and personally. Next, we read The Concept of Race, which made me see the problems associated with the term itself. For instance, it no longer has a scientific meaning that describes why we are different. I learned about how the long history with race in our nation has caused the meaning of the common usage of the word to become distorted. Race is now a trigger word and causes emotional responses when used. However, I do not agree with a lot of this article and the idea that removing the term would be beneficial. I did not believe that the term itself was the problem, but instead how we interpret race. This can be described by the unknown knowns. There are things that we know and that are part of us that we are unaware of, such as predetermined thoughts about race. People have thoughts that are in their unconscious that affect the way they act and feel about different races. Everybody reacts differently to race, and this is because of the different environments we grew up in. The way our parents and peers view race also have had a major impact on how we will be. In addition, life experiences individuals have had with different ethnic groups influence how we view different people. Lastly, how media and the news portray different people affect us. After learning about these unknown knowns, I began to think that the problem lies with a person's mindset. No matter what term is used, we will still face problems with race. This class challenged my reading comprehension abilities because some of the material we read was dense with information and made it difficult to understand. At first, I thought it would be difficult to write full-length essays on an article I had a hard time understanding, but it only improved my writing skills and helped me learn to dig deeper, affirm, and explain my own opinions. After everything I learned through the pieces of literature and classroom discussions, I was able to reflect on my own life and start to think how I view race and why. A few of the most surprising or interesting things I learned was first off the unknown knowns. This concept greatly affected my own ideas on the problems with race and helped me understand why people act the way they do. Next, I was surprised by the issues with the term race in general because prior to this class, I never thought of this topic in this way. Lastly, I was mostly surprised to learn that Malcolm X was a street thug and a drug dealer. What I learned from this class allows me to now speculate for myself the issues with race and why people view different ethnic groups differently. Also, what we learned connected to my psychology class because we learned about why people are racist and how racism has changed over the years. Next, since learning about the unknown knowns, I have tried to determine what about myself I am unaware of, and if I have predetermined ideas that lie in my unconscious. Lastly, I have become more tuned in to the race issue and have seen how racism is hidden by jokes and stereotypes. This class informed me on the lingering problems with race, and by applying what I learned, I am able to try to improve myself and my own views.